Now, another book I wrote is called Lucky Luna, and this book also takes place in Corpus Christi. And in the very first scene, we have our character Luna. She is at a quinceañera. So of course, when I was growing up in Corpus, there were quinceañeras, there were weddings, and every time there was something like this, even a high school graduation, you know, a baptism, the whole family would gather together. Aunts, uncles, your cousins, you know, and we had like little houses, but we would just somehow find room, even if we had to have the little kids sit on our lap. And so she's a little upset because she has so many primas that she didn't get asked to be a dama in the quinceañera because there was just too many primas, and she kind of missed her chance. But one of the things I like to share is that and the little caption for this book says, "You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your primas." And I think that's so true, because her mother doesn't understand why she wants to hang out with her friends when she has so many cousins that can be her friends. So I just want to read a little excerpt. It's about how my character Luna got her name. And this is from a chapter that's called La Luna. Luna means moon, and it's also my name. You might think it's weird to be named after something that hangs in the sky, but lots of people in my family are named after things that hang in the sky. My prima Estrella's name means star. Mirasol's name means look at the sun. And Celeste's name means sky, plain and simple. Then there's Paloma, whose name is Spanish for dove. Maybe doves don't hang in the sky like the stars and the moon, but they fly in it. So Paloma is a sky name too. I don't know what Claudia's name means in Spanish, but it sounds a lot like cloud when you say it. So that's what I think of when I say her name. Clouds. Clouds that look like faces with giant noses. My parents didn't name me Luna on purpose. They did it by accident. This is because my mother is very superstitious. When you're superstitious, all kinds of things are bad luck. Some things are bad luck because mom says so, and some things are bad luck because everybody says so. The bad luck thing that gave me my name goes something like this. If a pregnant lady looks at the moon during a lunar eclipse, her child will be born with a giant birthmark that covers half her face. My mother knew about this bad luck thing. As soon as she got pregnant, all her sisters warned her, "Don't look at the moon." Guess what? She looked at the moon. I couldn't help it, she tells me. The moon was just so beautiful. Of course, she felt horrible when she looked at it. She didn't want her child to have a giant birthmark, so she begged the moon to forgive her. But she didn't really beg the moon. She really begged the rabbit in the moon. Yes, there's a rabbit in the moon. In the United States, people see a man in the moon, but in Mexico, they see a rabbit. I live in the US, but I live in the sparkling city by the sea, Corpus Christi, which is near the bottom of Texas. A long time ago, Corpus Christi used to be part of Mexico, so we see some things the Mexican way. Here's how to see the rabbit. Look at the dark spots on a full moon. The rabbit's body is curled over the edge. There's a giant spot where his head belongs and two long ears pointing to the center. So Mom asked the rabbit to erase the birthmark from my face, and the rabbit listened. I was born with 10 fingers, 10 toes, and a beautiful birthmark-free face. Mom was so grateful that she named me Luna to thank the moon. And because a bad luck thing didn't happen, she decided to call me Lucky Luna, even though it's not my official name. So here's a picture of the moon and an outline of the rabbit in the moon. And once you, I promise you, once you see the rabbit in the moon, that's what you're going to see when you look at a full moon. Now, if you catch the moon early in the night, the rabbit is kind of right side up. But if you catch the moon in the morning, the rabbit's upside down. And that's because the moon is kind of phase locked with the earth. So the next time you look at the moon, I hope you look for the rabbit, and I hope you think about my story, Lucky Luna. Now, one of the themes in my Lucky Luna book has to do with language, and especially with the Spanish language. There's been a lot of research that shows that when people come to the United States from another country, and this isn't just from Mexico, this is from any country, any other country in the world, when they come to the United States, they know their homeland language. And then they live here and they have children, and their children are bilingual. Their children speak English and whatever that homeland language is. But then their children have children. And it seems to be that when those children are learning language, a lot of times they just learn English. So within 2 generations, that homeland language kind of gets wiped out. So you have a whole group of people who struggle to speak to their grandparents because their grandparents have one language and they have a different language. And that was something I was thinking about with Lucky Luna. Her grandmother speaks only Spanish. Luna speaks only English. So when she has conversations with her grandmother, she can only pick out certain words. The rest of it just kind of sounds like blah, 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 and she has to fill in the blanks.